you're looking at a wheel, a rusty, ugly, nasty wheel. But let's talk about that for a moment. So since I last turned the video camera on, I came across some unbelievable, awesome, insanely crazy. I mean, would you just look at this? Would you just look at that?
Look at this, look at that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, look at this. You know, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, would you look at this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I came across these absolutely insane 39 by 15.5 Mickey Thompson Bajas. These are nuts. They actually welded two rims together to create that just crazy profile. And they're on 6-lug, half-ton GM bolt pattern. I wanted so badly for these to work because, I mean, holy cow, a little cleanup in there. Could you imagine? It's exactly, I wanted these to work. We've got 4 of them plus a spare. I mean, just crazy. Unfortunately, they are dry rotted beyond use. They have tubes in them. The tubes are messed up. The rims, the tires are just kind of coming apart. Not gonna work for us. So I got on the computer, started looking around. Craigslist, do you guys remember Craigslist? It's been so long since I've been on Craigslist. Did a quick check, came up with these jewels right here. So these are 35, I know 35. These are 35 by 1250 by 15. And just to give you an idea, the original truck in the TV series was sitting on 37s, okay? That right there, my friends, is a 37. And for comparison in size, it is clearly bigger. It is clearly bigger. I mean, that's what should be on the truck to be commensurate with the TV show. This is what I picked up. These were 200 bucks for all 4. They're in pretty good shape, little dry rot here. Their primary problem is they're out of date. They were made in 2013, and for a good street use tire that you're on the highway, they're out of date. That could be a serious issue, a blowout, etc. Tires are just too old. So I got a killer deal on those, super happy about it, but honestly, they're only good for off-roading and rolling a car around anyhow because they're so old. Now, the other bonus was they came with wheels. The bad part about the wheels is they're really rusty. A good part about the wheels is they're the right bolt pattern. These were actually on a Toyota, but those older ones like that have the same bolt pattern. So got the wheels, and this kind of pattern like this is similar to the TV Hero truck. The Hero truck is more of a triangle like that trailer rim than this, but you know what, where we're going, this is going to be just fine. I have the 4 of those. Got the 4 tires and of course the 4 rims. Pay no attention to this mess. Everything's a mess. But here are the rims. There's a lot of paint flaking on them. A lot of stuff I need to clean up. We are going to chrome plate these with a can of silver paint. It's gonna be fine. Did get a special package in the mail today from a company called Rough Country, and they're known for getting you jacked up high. So we're gonna get into that a little bit later, but obviously the truck needs to be, oh, let me here's a sneak preview. What do you see between the headlights? Yeah, that came too. Although I didn't realize I needed to order the trim molding for it as well. Because there's a reason why that was so cheap, except for the shipping. Anyway, so I'm just gonna be working this with a scraper, the Roloc, a lot of elbow grease, but essentially 25 bucks a tire, 25 bucks a rim, not a bad deal for some tires. I mean, look at them from here. They're close, right? They're close, 35 to 37. Get down here like this. Like, okay, from down here, maybe they don't look so different, but that's gonna be fine. One of the 37s, like why am I not using this one? This is for the Humvee, and it's on a 16.5-inch rim. I can get 16.5-inch rims for the 8-lug axles for the Chevy, actually get those pretty easily. The 6-lug wheels, just I've been having a lot of issues finding a rim that was going to work without buying brand new rims. But here we go. A little bit of elbow grease, a lot of elbow grease, a lot of sandpaper, a lot of time, and maybe in the next day or so, these things are going to be chrome plated with a can of chrome paint. Take a set of rims that probably should have been sent to recycle and turn them into some Fall Guy jump truck rims. This one here I was doing some experimenting with the chrome paint, and I'm not really happy with just the straight chrome, so I believe I'm going to clear coat it. When I do, it'll turn it basically a gloss machine gray, but that's gonna be all right for where we're going. I just think that the clear coat's gonna help me kind of dull down that silver. And you know, we know it's not chrome, so it's supposed to be chrome, but it's not. But anyway, these rims were pretty bad. I didn't talk to the owner in terms of where they really came from. My guess would be these things came from a state that salted roads really, really heavy. I mean, they were bad. The powder coat was all really peeled up. We'll see how well I feathered things back once I get some primer on. But yeah, quick primer. I'm gonna do a little bit of blocking. I know, sounds crazy, but I'm gonna block out some of the little edges after I prime them, and then we'll go silver, and then I think we're gonna go clear, get them mounted.
Okay, here you go. This is silver liquid chrome. Doesn't look very good. I know when I put the clear on it, it's going to basically turn gray. That's all right. These rims are in just such bad shape. And I mean, you see the pitting? This is all the rust pitting in here. So these rims are never going to look great. Let's try to make them look okay, but that look isn't going to work for me, so I'm going to clear them. It's all right. It'll seal it in, tone that down a little bit, and we'll see, but get that on, let them dry, and then we're going to put them on those tires, right?
And time to make some of you smile, maybe a little bit of both. We have a rough country block kit. And we're going to break some rules, and I can already hear someone out there right now screaming. You know what I'm getting ready to do here, right? You know what I'm getting ready to do? So I can already hear someone out there screaming at their monitor going, no, please tell me, dear God, no, he's not going to put blocks on the front axle. Yes, I am. This is the least expensive way to get the front end up in the air. And where we're going, the concerns about it spitting blocks out and having a problem aren't going to be a problem. This truck is not going to be on the highways, byways, roadways with other drivers around. And this is going to be just fine for where we're going and what we're doing. We have a 5-inch block to put into the front axle. We have a 4-inch block to put into the rear axle. We have a unique extra long U-bolt here for the front axle that's going to allow us to go around the side of the diff. The front axles on these have one longer bolt, so that's going to be for that. And we're just going to fight and wiggle and jiggle at it. The lift is going to be 5 inches in the front and 4 inches in the rear. We want to get a little bit of that, what do they call that? What do they call that, riding dirty? Pit bull, I don't know, dog, the squat. We're gonna get a little squat on it. And these trucks naturally have a bit of a rake anyway, so we're gonna take that rake out, kind of get that nose up look. This 3/4 inch Milwaukee has been coming in a lot of handy. And we'll see if it keeps coming in handy here. I mean, that's a lot of power right there in one. We're gonna, if the bolt breaks, it breaks. We're gonna put all the torque on it here. It's moving it, and it, boom, yeah, boom. Shocking discovery. Okay. at what we've accomplished here. After a lot of different techniques, ended up getting this in here. I found the best way to do this was to remove one of the original U-bolts at a time, replace it with the other one. That keeps it from falling down all the way. And then you can go in here and add the other one, lower things, move things. And there it is with the 4-inch block. The way they have you do these things is the short end goes towards basically the front of the vehicle. Since we're going to cheat in the front, use rear axle blocks, we're going to turn the short end towards the rear of the vehicle. And it's all about keeping an appropriate pinion angle here. Keep this guy happy. So that's there. And then on the brake line, basically, I unbolted it from the pumpkin housing, brought it up so that there would still be slack in it. We're good there. We'll come back and tighten all that down, but that is a done deal. He's helping me out. He's getting rid of the old shackle springs. He's getting rid of the old shackle bolts for me. And now we're gonna do this. We're set up here. My big challenge is this. Oh, I think there's brake fluid coming. No, it isn't. That's oil I sprayed on. So I'm gonna get everything lowered down, make this a little easier to get to. I don't like that. That's a scary leaning forward there. Gonna get this out. We'll see what we've got in here. This is already loose. So essentially, get the shocks out of the way and get these bolts off. Let this thing drag down, and then we'll begin the process of getting the blocks in here. So here we go. We are lifted 5-inch with the Rough Country front axle lifted up. This is not appropriate, not correct. You're not supposed to lift with a block in the front. If you're doing this at home on a truck you're going to drive on the street, just stop. You shouldn't do that. You should either get a re-arched leaf spring or you should get longer shackles on the back, but do not do this on anything other than maybe a truck that you're going to drive off a cliff, providing you're not the one driving it, providing it's driving itself, etc. So the problem is when you lift it, this arm, it's at a steep angle now, and you lose your full steering radius. One of the ways you fix that is you get a block kit like this that you put under this arm, and you raise up this connector, right? You raise this up, and then you have the equivalent of the higher, the area, and then this thing rides level. I called up Rough Country, they've been amazing, and got this replacement right here. This thing, as you can see, has it's a 2341 is the part number, and it has the up and down in it. And what this would do is create a scenario where you're essentially riding level and you keep your full turning radius. So I don't think I'm going to put it on now that I've really looked at it. We're going to test this out, get the wheels on here, determine if I have enough turning radius to do what we need to do with this truck, which is in and out of the garage, on and off my trailer, around parking lots, and then ultimately down the hill and then up the hill so it can jump off the side of the cliff. So that's that. We're looking good. I'm gonna get in here with my Sawzall and cut these extra long studs off. Make sure everything is tight. I've already bled the brakes down. I had to take the lines loose to drop all this. So yeah, we'll just start bolting this together. I'm gonna put the 35 by 12.5 by 15s on here for the first time here soon. And yeah, and I still haven't started it since I put the transmission back in. I even think I see a spider web that's formed under there since then. So I need to get there and knock those cobwebs out. We need to get this thing cranked up, but not until we get some wheels sitting on it. So gonna get to that little Sawzall action. We're about to go. And when it comes to batteries, some people, all they worry about is a go handle. Some people worry about a battery that's going to have the right cold cranking amps and size to fit their vehicle. Here, we're worried about both. So in this case, I went over and saw my friends at Carquest. Carquest has a full line of batteries for all your vehicle needs. And in this case, we have a Die-Hard Red. Power ahead with a Die-Hard. And it's gonna fit right in our jump truck, our Fall Guy truck. Yep, it's a perfect fit. And where we're going, we're not going to need this go handle any longer. But we're going to get this thing all bolted up in here and hooked up and have all the power we need to make this jump truck go reliably, because we need power when it counts. We need power when we need it. We can't afford to not have a good start. We only get one shot to send this truck off the cliff. Nothing better than a diehard to put into a truck that we intend to die hard. That's going to die hard by leaping off a 300-foot high cliff this July 4th. All right, well, let's get this thing hooked up. And thanks again to our friends at Carquest. This is going to be exactly what we need to make this thing go.